Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I wanted to talk about the current breaking news about the resignation of Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff Morgan McSweeney. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, there's been some breaking news coming out of 10 Downing Street where Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff, a gentleman by the name of Morgan McSweeney, has resigned, taking full blame and responsibility for the repercussions over Mandelson being appointed to the United States on behalf of the Starmer government.
And let me bring you some breaking news now. Morgan McSweeney, Downing Street Chief of Staff, has just resigned. In the past few moments, we've received a statement. Let me read it to you. After careful reflection, I have decided to resign from the government. The decision to appoint Peter Mandelson was wrong. He has damaged our party, our country, and trust in politics itself. When asked, I advised the Prime Minister to make that appointment, and I take full responsibility for that advice. In public life, responsibility must be owned when it matters most, not just when it is most convenient. In the circumstances, the only honourable course is to step aside.
Now, for me personally, I've been trying to steer away or steer clear from these Epstein files and these allegations because primarily I believe that what is being released is being put out there for a reason. I believe that the full extent to what went on and who was really involved is something that we will never know. So it's, while it's sick and pathetic that our elite and our politicians and leaders, not just in politics, but in academia, in business, people that you generally look up to or society holds in reverence has to, have been engaging in these nefarious activities and harming, young, vulnerable women and children. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's for that reason that I just wanted to not go near these Epstein files, the news regarding the Epstein files, because I just think it's absolutely toxic and it's something that's being used as a carrot. It's something that we're just never going to get to the bottom of. Nevertheless, I want to let you know my take, or I want to give you my take on what I think is happening, because whilst this McSweeney chap's being, appearing to be very noble about the whole thing, I think it's all a whole lot of hogwash. Keir Starmer has basically said to him, listen, mate, somebody has to take the fall for this, and it's not going to be me, as in Keir Starmer. So this chap's gone on and been Starmer's knight in shining armor. But I think the rot of this is deep within the party. You've got people within Keir Starmer's party, his backbenchers, everybody's there seems to be an open rebellion against him. But I think Labour, by and large, has been really, really damaged by these Epstein scandals and this Mandelson's, all the allegations that have come out against him. Now, more importantly, I find is that if you look at what has been going on recently, so you've had Donald Trump at Davos saying that Europe is unrecognizable. You then had him say that Europe has to start walking back a lot of the policies that it has implemented within the last 10 years. He's also gone and taken on a lot of the liberal and left-leaning governments within Europe. So there's a pattern here, the Greenland debacle, the destabilization of NATO. What Donald Trump is basically saying is that America has now shifted. It's pivoted towards a new policy, which is actually embracing the values of old. And whatever's been going on under the, Clinton, Obama, Biden administration is now over. That ship has sailed. Forget about it. And all those governments that were playing second fiddle to those U.S. administrations need to now fall in line. And you've had this week talk of the setup of a fund by the Trump administration for like-minded think tanks and organizations within Europe. And that's why I believe that the release of the Epstein files, or this portion of the Epstein files, although, however, heavily redacted, is being used as a test case, because I don't see Starmer in power very much longer. I think he's going to be out. Somebody's going to come in from within his party, but I think they're going to be forced into calling for a general election sooner rather than later. And if you look at what is going on in Norway as well regarding the royal family and this prince's wife, or this princess that has been, had all her back and forths with Epstein revealed to the public. The same thing here with the royal family, Prince Andrew and his Sarah Ferguson. But what I presume is happening here is that these files are being let loose. Although heavily redacted, the information that's trickling out is being used by the Trump administration to undermine the governments within Europe at the moment. And I think they've started with Keir Starmer, and I think they're taking a shot at the Norwegian royal family. And if this is successful, then I fear that you will see a lot more coming out to help destabilize these liberal and left-leaning governments within Europe, which would then cause or would then force elections. And if you look at it, there's a close alliance between the reform parties, Nigel Farage and Donald Trump. You've got Elon Musk as well, who's in the play. So I think, as I mentioned in my earlier video, that there's a soft power move to destabilize the current governments within Europe and the UK and put into place governments that are more amicable. I mean, you've seen it during, after the Second World War in Italy, when communist governments were toppled because the United States wanted a more friendly government in Italy. You've seen it in other parts of the world. So I think that same play is being put into action here. And I think they're watching carefully. Keir Starmer falls, Labour goes into disarray. You're going to have a general election coming up. And if they're successful in getting a candidate that is more in line with their ideologies and their values, then I think you're going to see this same playbook roll out. It's a bit like those color revolutions that the United States has helped foment everywhere, and those Arab Springs and those types of things. It's the same thing being done here. And I come back to this point. Europe has always said that its threats come from Russia. I think what you're seeing is evident that the Russians are nowhere near as threatening to Europe and the UK currently as the threat from America is. So I think that this McSweeney chap telling you about how he assumes responsibility and how he advised Keir Starmer to appoint Mandelson. Listen, Keir Starmer is just another puppet. The man has no balls. Seeing him go will be a blessing for the United Kingdom. What we need is a government that comes in, and a prime minister with some integrity, a prime minister that is going to come in and say, this is the way, like it or lump it, this is the way we move forward. Someone that's going to come in and fight for the British people. Not for everybody else, but the British people. And Keir Starmer is exactly that. That's why him resigning will actually be a blessing for the United Kingdom. Because this guy is a joke. So if this McSweeney chap is gone, I think the next person will be Starmer. Because I don't think that the public or the opposition or even people within Starmer's party are going to let off just because McSweeney is gone. I think the pressure is now on, and it's going to be doubled down on Starmer. So keep an eye out, because I don't think Starmer has long in this position. I want to thank you for spending time with us on this monologue, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.